Her long-cherished first love slipped a soda and tab onto her finger. He asked if she would marry him. My wife smiled and said yes. When I got home, I drafted the divorce papers. She flew into a rage when she saw them, all because of a game. You want a divorce? I nodded. Yes, a divorce. Zixia's childhood friends were having a reunion. I didn't want to go. Just this once, please. Beizhou rarely comes home. We haven't seen each other in ages. After much pleading and coaxing, I finally agreed. The reunion was held in a private room at an upscale Japanese restaurant. 5 or 6 people were already seated inside. The moment Zhixia entered, everyone crowded around her. Zhixia, Beizhou saved you a seat. A girl grabbed Zhixia and pulled her away, completely treating me like I wasn't there. At the head of the table, Beizhou sat cross-legged. He wore an impeccably tailored shirt, its rolled-up cuffs revealing an expensive watch. The corner of his mouth lifted slightly. Oh wow, our golden couple is finally in the same frame again. If Beizhou hadn't gone abroad back then, your children would be in grade school by now. The private room erupted in laughter. Zhixia's cheeks turned slightly pink. She lightly swatted the girl, but she didn't deny it. My fingers clenched unconsciously. Beizhou's gaze passed over Zhixia and casually swept over me. For the next 2 hours, I sat there like a ghost. I listened as they reminisced about childhood adventures, talking about years I had never been part of. Whenever the conversation turned to Beizhou and Zhixia's childhood together, someone would give me a pointed look and deliberately lower their voice, just enough for me to hear. Do you remember kindergarten? Whenever we played games, Zhixia always insisted on being Beizhou's bride. If she lost, she'd cry. In 9th grade, Beizhou wrote Zhixia a love letter for the first time. The homeroom teacher caught him on the spot and punished him by making him read the whole letter aloud. At the high school prom, Beizhou ditched the prom host, the school's beauty queen, just to dance the first dance with Zhixia. Zhixia laughed until she doubled over. Every now and then, she added more details, completely lost in the memories. Alcohol and excitement flushed her cheeks. Under the soft lights, she bloomed like a flower. Why don't we play house like we did as kids? After several rounds of drinks, Beizhou suddenly suggested it. Everyone except me applauded enthusiastically. The game began naturally enough. Beizhou removed a soda and tap and knelt on one knee before Zhixia. Miss Zhixia, will you marry me? The entire room fell silent for a second. Then screams and whistles erupted. My blood froze. I could only watch as my wife, in front of everyone, gave another man a tender, loving smile. I do. She held out her left hand and let Beizhou slip the kintab onto her ring finger, right over the diamond wedding ring I had bought her. At that moment, I clearly heard something shatter. I stood up. The chair scraped across the floor with a piercing screech. Everyone, including Zhixia, turned to look at me. The smiles on their faces had not yet faded. I'm leaving. You all carry on. I spoke, my voice so calm that even I barely recognized it. Zhixia frowned. What's wrong, Cheng? I didn't answer. I picked up my coat and walked out without looking back. A few awkward coughs came from behind me. Then someone deliberately raised their voice. Don't mind him. Let's continue. The night wind was bitterly cold. I stood by the road waiting for a cab. My phone vibrated. It was a message from Zhixia. Could you stop ruining the mood? It was only a game. I didn't reply. When I got home, I found a divorce agreement template online and printed it out. I signed my name and placed it on the living room coffee table in the most conspicuous spot. Then I sat on the sofa and chain-smoked in silence. At 1 in the morning, Zhixia finally came home. She took off her high heels. The heavy smell of alcohol clung to her. Why are you still awake? Her gaze fell on the coffee table. Her voice abruptly stopped. What is this? She snatched up the papers. Her eyes widened. A divorce agreement? Cheng, have you lost your mind? I looked at her calmly. I'm perfectly clear-headed. Over one game. You want to divorce me? Her voice suddenly rose. The pages trembled in her hand. Do you know how childish and ridiculous you're being? I held out a pen. Sign it. She grabbed my arm. Her nails nearly dug into my flesh. Cheng, it really was only a game. We've played like this since we were kids. I stopped. I looked straight into her eyes. Zhixia, you are my wife. At least, for now. You are. And marriage has boundaries. I shook off her hand and went into the bathroom. When I came out after showering, Zhixia had changed into something seductive. She reclined against the headboard. Soft light traced her graceful curves. Her eyes held deliberate allure. In the past, I would have lost all restraint and pulled her into my arms. But now, I felt only disgust and bitter irony. Darling, she called softly. She lightly patted the empty space beside her. Her eyes brimmed with tenderness. I dried my hair and went straight to the closet. I took out pajamas and put them on. Don't bother. Get some rest. I'll sleep in the study tonight. Her smile froze. A flicker of panic crossed her eyes, then gave way to anger. What exactly do you want? I've already apologized. What more do you want from me? You don't need to do anything. Without looking back, the problem between us can only be solved by divorce. Zhixia abruptly sat up. Her chest heaved violently. Cheng, don't push it too far. I've already humbled myself to appease you. Do you expect me to get on my knees and beg? I stopped walking, then turned to face her. My eyes were ice cold. You think I want you to appease me? Zhixia, even now, you don't understand the real problem. The problem? What problem? She gave a cold laugh. It was only a game. Do you really have to make such a big deal out of it? I'm making a big deal out of it. I took out my phone and showed her the photos. One by one. Beizhou had returned from abroad just 2 weeks earlier. A photo of them together at an airport cafe. She leaned on his shoulder, smiling like a flower. A late-night call log from last weekend. 2 hours and 17 minutes long. And tonight, she let him hold her by the waist. Their foreheads were nearly touching. Were those games too? I asked. Or is it that our marriage is the game to you? Zhixia's expression changed. You've been spying on me. I just won't pretend not to see anymore. She glared at me. The fury in her eyes was ready to burst forth. Fine, don't regret this. With that, she grabbed her phone and quickly dialed the number. Beizhou, can you come pick me up now? Her voice was choked with hurt and tears. Beizhou's concerned voice came through the phone. Zhixia answered him, while staring at me defiantly. Cheng, you still have time to regret this. Expressionless, I turned away and walked to the study. I slammed the door shut. In the study, I lit a cigarette. I took a deep drag. Night lay heavy beyond the window. Occasionally, passing headlights flashed by. Half an hour later, the doorbell rang. I heard Zhixia hurry to answer it. Then came Beizhou's gentle voice. Zhixia, are you alright? I didn't go out. I sat silently in the study until I heard the front door close. The house instantly fell silent. Only the clocks ticking remained. After a while, my phone vibrated. It was a message from Zhixia. Cheng, you forced me into this. We're over. I didn't reply. I just tossed my phone aside, picked up a pen, and added several property division clauses to the divorce agreement, since she chose to leave. Then we would make it final. When I finished, I gazed into the night outside. Memories came flooding back. That summer, 7 years ago, Zhixia and I met at a friend's gathering. She sat quietly in a corner, listening to music, utterly apart from the noise around her. I handed her a glass of lemonade. She looked up at me. Her eyes were so clear. They seemed to reflect the whole starry sky. Thank you. As she took the glass, her fingertips brushed the back of my hand. A current seemed to race through my body. After that night, we began speaking often. She loved hearing my stories from work. I loved watching her focused profile as she painted. She always said, my voice made her feel safe, and her smile became what I looked forward to most each day. 6 months later, I gathered my courage and confessed my feelings. Blushing, she said yes. At first, our relationship was far from smooth. Her parents strongly opposed us, especially Mr. Lin. He thought I was just an ordinary office worker from a rural background, unworthy of their precious daughter. But Zhixia was stubborn as a mule to be with me. She endured a bitter standoff with her family. She even moved out and squeezed into a tiny rental with me. As long as I can be with you, nothing else matters. As she leaned against my shoulder and softly spoke those words, I made a silent vow to love her for the rest of my life. I worked myself to the bone at Lin Group. For 3 straight years, I was the top sales performer. At last, I earned Mr. Lin's approval. On our wedding day, Zhixia, in her wedding dress, threw herself into my arms. She cried like a child. Cheng, I finally married you. Our married life was simple and warm. She loved sleeping, and on weekend mornings, I would make coffee and wait for her to wake up. She always left her socks lying around. I would follow behind her and pick them up. When she painted, I would sit quietly nearby and read. Every so often, I would look up at her, and my heart would feel full. I thought those days would last forever, that we would grow old together, until Beizhou returned home. At first, Zhixia only mentioned him now and then. She said he was a childhood friend who had worked overseas for years and had finally come back. I didn't think much of it. I even encouraged her to attend their gatherings. But gradually, her phone began ringing constantly. Her last-minute business trips became more frequent. Her nights began to include reunions with old friends I had never heard of. The rain fell harder and harder. The world beyond the window blurred into a haze. I looked at our wedding photo on the wall. In it, Zhixia smiled so sweetly, as though I was the only thing in the world that mattered. But now, she gave that smile to someone else. Perhaps, some things cannot withstand time or memories, least of all the bond between childhood sweethearts. I closed my eyes, letting memories and reality intertwine. That night was destined to be sleepless. The next day, I arrived early at Lin Group, ready to submit my resignation. As I neared human resources, I ran into Manager Wang, Director Cheng, Emergency meeting. Ms. Lin wants all managers in the conference room. He grabbed me and dragged me toward the conference room without another word. The room was already packed. Zhixia stood before the projector, wearing a sharp business suit. Her hair was swept into a high bun, and her flawless makeup concealed last night's disarray. When she saw me, her gaze flickered, then quickly returned to normal. Beizhou stood behind her, dressed in a crisp suit, with a smile on his face. We called this meeting at short notice today to announce an important personnel change. Following the board's deliberation, Mr. Beizhou is appointed marketing director, effective immediately. The conference room erupted at once. Everyone turned to look at me. Some looked sympathetic, some confused, but most were stunned. Ms. Lin, this isn't proper, is it? Mr. Zhang from finance was the first to stand in objection. Cheng led marketing to double its results for 3 consecutive years. That position should rightfully go to. This is the board's decision. Zhixia cut him off, her voice turning colder. Beizhou has credentials from a top overseas business school. He has also held an executive role at a multinational corporation. He can bring an international perspective to the company. I sat in the corner, without saying a word, but Director Cheng knows the domestic market better. Ms. Liu from sales couldn't help speaking up. That Eastern region project we secured last month was entirely his work. Cheng has certainly made contributions. Zhixia's gaze finally landed on me, but it was as if she were looking at a stranger. But the company's growth needs fresh blood. She paused. Director Cheng hasn't been in good shape lately. I'm afraid he can no longer handle such demanding work. I stood up. Ms. Lin is right. I really haven't been at my best. I am no longer suited to serve as director. Manager Wang was sweating anxiously. Director Cheng, the southern region clients only trust you. You also know the new product launch plan better than anyone. Voices of agreement filled the room. Zhixia's expression changed. She hadn't expected so many people to take my side. Quiet. She slammed her hand on the table. This company doesn't belong to any one person. Cheng Mo's ability is beyond question, but the decision to appoint Beizhou as director will not be changed. Ms. Lin, I stepped forward and placed my resignation letter on the table. This is my resignation. The room fell dead silent. Zhixia stared at the letter, her face turning deathly pale. She hadn't expected me to embarrass her in front of everyone. Cheng Mo, you. I cut her off, pulling a stack of documents from my briefcase. These are the contact details for every client I handle, along with all materials for the new product. I slid the documents in front of Beizhou. With Director Gu's abilities, I'm sure he will be more than capable. Beizhou's smile froze. He hadn't expected me to hand over years of hard work so decisively. Director Cheng, several longtime employees rose to their feet in agitation. You can't just leave like this. The company needs you. Facing them, I gave them a deep bow. Thank you all for your support over the years. Goodbye. As I turned, I saw Zhixia open her mouth to say something, but when Beizhou gently took her hand, she gave up. I left without looking back. Back in my office, as I was packing my things, Beizhou came in. He leaned against the doorframe, a mocking smile curling his lips. He toyed with a metal lighter in his hand. It was the birthday gift Zhixia had given me last year. Packing up pretty quickly, aren't you? Zhixia said you were sentimental. Looks like that was nothing but talk. Without looking up, I continued clearing out my drawer. He suddenly pinned down the hand I was using to pack a folder. With a cold sneer, he said, "You'd better not get any ideas about these client files. Otherwise, the company will never let you off." I shook him off. I barely used any force. Yet he dramatically staggered backward toward the window. The lighter in his hand just happened to set the curtain on fire. Flames erupted instantly. Thick smoke rapidly filled the office. I froze where I stood. "Help!" Beizhou suddenly let out a heart-rending scream. At the same time, he deliberately moved closer to the curtain, letting the flames climb onto his suit sleeve. Hurried footsteps sounded outside the office. Zhixia burst in with her secretary. At the sight before her, her pupils suddenly constricted. "Cheng Mo, have you lost your mind?" She charged at me like an enraged lioness, shoving me away with all her strength. The back of my head slammed hard into the sharp corner of the desk. Blinding pain exploded through. The world spun before my eyes. My ears rang. In the last moment before I blacked out, I saw Zhixia rush toward Beizhou, frantically beating the flames on him with her coat. "Call an ambulance. Now." Beizhou. The sharp smell of disinfectant filled my nostrils. I struggled to open my eyes. A stark white hospital ceiling came into view. My head felt like it was splitting apart, as though someone were pounding my temples with a hammer. "You're awake." A cold voice came from beside the bed. I slowly turned my head and saw Zhixia standing by the window, arms crossed. Her makeup was immaculate, but it could not hide the dark circles beneath her eyes. Clearly, she had not slept all night. "Thanks to you, Beizhou has third-degree burns." "Cheng Mo, I never thought you could be so vicious." I closed my eyes and said nothing, seeing how calm I was. Zhixia's expression wavered for a moment, but quickly turned cold again. "Arson and assault could put you behind bars for years." She pulled out a document and tossed it onto the hospital bed. Sign it. I had a lawyer redraft the divorce agreement. For the sake of what we once had, I can persuade Beizhou to withdraw his lawsuit, but you must leave with nothing. I opened the document. Her elegant signature was already on the final page. Fine. I picked up the pen and signed my name without hesitation. For 7 years of love. I drew the final line. Less than a month after the divorce, the Ling Group's business began running into one major problem after another. First, several major Eastern region clients abruptly put their business on hold. Then the new product launch plan hit obstacle after obstacle. Even the usually stable Southern region sent troubling news. Many clients would not consider renewing once their contracts expired. Zhixia sat in her office, staring at the steadily falling performance graph on her computer screen, her brow tightly furrowed. Beizhou pushed open the door and walked in. His suit was impeccably pressed, with a confident smile on his face. He walked over to Zhixia and spoke casually. "What's wrong, Zhixia? Why did you call me in so urgently?" Zhixia turned the computer screen toward him. "Beizhou, the company's performance is down 30% this month. The Eastern region clients have all broken their contracts. We're about to lose the Southern region too. Can you tell me what exactly is going on?" Beizhou's smile froze for a moment, then quickly returned to normal. He shrugged and feigned helplessness as he said, "Cheng built up all these clients himself. They only trust him. There's nothing I can do. Nothing you can do." Zhixia frowned. Who was it that swore they could handle everything? Beizhou's face darkened, and his tone turned sharp. "Zhixia, are you blaming me? If you ask me, this is Cheng pulling strings behind the scenes. He's deliberately making these clients give us trouble. He just wants to see us make fools of ourselves. He wants you to think the Ling Group can't survive without him." Zhixia's frown deepened. "Beizhou, do you have any proof?" Beizhou gave a cold snort. "Proof? Those clients' attitudes are all the proof you need. The moment they heard Cheng had left, they turn on us. If that isn't collusion, what else could it be?" Zhixia took a deep breath, trying to suppress her irritation. She rubbed her temples, her voice weary. "This isn't the time to dodge responsibility. Our priority is winning back those clients." Seeing this, Beizhou softened his tone. "Zhixia, I'm not dodging responsibility. I just don't want you being kept in the dark. Cheng acts like an honorable gentleman, but who knows how many schemes he has used behind your back. As the saying goes, they say harsh places breed harsh people. You should have been wary of him long ago." Zhixia did not respond. She merely stared silently at the desk. Cheng retreating figure surfaced in her mind. So resolute, so unfamiliar. Suddenly, she was no longer sure whether she had ever truly known him. "I'll contact those clients myself," she finally said. "You revise the new product launch plan first. I want it on my desk before next week." Beizhou opened his mouth, as if he wanted to say more, but ultimately only nodded. He turned and left the office. After the door closed, Zhixia picked up her phone. She hesitated for a moment, then dialed Cheng number anyway. The phone rang for a long time, but no one answered. Half an hour later, Zhixia stood outside that familiar old apartment building. She looked up at the window that had once glowed with warm light. It was the rental apartment where she and Cheng had lived for 3 years, which they had kept as a memento after getting married. Now, unfamiliar curtains hung there, and several pots of unfamiliar greenery lined the balcony. On the 4th floor, she took a deep breath, walked to the door, and knocked softly. The door opened. A young woman peered out. She held a baby in her arms. "Hello. Who are you looking for?" "Excuse me, does Cheng still live here?" The woman shook her head. "I don't know. When we moved in on July 8th, the apartment was already empty." Zhixia froze. That was the day after she had forced Cheng to sign the divorce agreement. The woman brought out a box. It had been left by the previous tenant. "Since you know him, you can take it with you." Zhixia opened the box. Her body went rigid. Her fingers trembled slightly as they softly brushed over the familiar belongings. A brown coat, a birthday gift she had given Cheng 6 years ago, a dark blue scarf she had wear upon it herself, and a photo album. It held every memory from when they met to when they married. Every item carried a memory. Yet now, they were like an abandoned past, lying silently in a cardboard box. "These things, he didn't take any of them?" Zhixia's voice was hoarse. "The landlord said the previous tenant left in a hurry. He took nothing with him." It felt as though something had slammed hard into her chest. She thanked the woman, then left with the box in her arms, her steps heavy as lead. Back in her car, she could not stop herself from opening the photo album. The first page showed their first photo together, taken at a friend's party. Back then, her smile had been shy, while Cheng gaze was gentle and intent. Further on were photos from their travels together, embracing at the foot of snowy mountains, chasing waves along the shore. The final pages held their wedding photos. Cheng wore a perfectly tailored suit, kneeling on one knee to propose to her, and she, with tears in her eyes, smiled like a child. A teardrop splashed onto the album, spreading across the page. Zhixia took a deep breath, trying to calm her surging emotions. From the corner of her eye, she caught sight of a photo. It was from a birthday years ago. She had teased Cheng Mo with a cake covered in lit candles. Cheng Mo had been so frightened that his face turned white. Her heart suddenly clenched. She suddenly remembered. Fire was what Cheng Mo feared most. He feared it so much that he rarely entered the kitchen. The lighter she gave him had stayed hidden in a drawer, gathering dust. Then how could he have? The more Zhixia thought about it, the more wrong it felt. She immediately called her secretary. Xiao Yu, do me a favor. Over the next few days, Zhixia dealt with the company's crisis while secretly searching for Cheng Mo. She went to the cafes he frequented, the library, and even contacted his old classmates, but found no trace of him. Cheng Mo seemed to have vanished into thin air, completely gone from her world. Meanwhile, the company's situation grew worse by the day. Beizhou's new plan was riddled with flaws, and client dissatisfaction kept mounting. Zhixia had no choice but to personally try to win them back, but was turned away at every turn. Ms. Lin, it's not that we refuse to work with you. It's just that the terms Director Cheng originally promised were completely overturned by Director Gu. That puts us in a very difficult position. An old client said helplessly. When Director Cheng was here, everything was handled in perfect order. I never had to worry about a thing. But now, sigh, another client trailed off. Unable to continue, Zhixia finally realized that Cheng Mo's contribution to the company went far beyond the numbers. His integrity, his ability, the trust he had built with clients, none of it could be easily replaced. After seeing off the last client, Zhixia leaned warily against her chair. The office door suddenly flew open. Beizhou strode inside, his face full of displeasure. Zhixia, those fossils refused to adapt. He threw a folder hard onto the desk. Who knows what spell Cheng Mo put them under? Every other word out of their mouths is about him. Zhixia looked up at him. Beizhou, the clients may not be the only problem. Your plan completely ignores their actual needs. How could they possibly accept it? Beizhou's face darkened. He leaned over her desk, bracing himself on it, and lowered his voice. Zhixia, are you still thinking about Cheng Mo? He's just a country bumpkin who got ahead by flattering clients. Now that the company is in trouble, he's probably hiding somewhere laughing at us. People from a background like his are masters at hiding who they really are. When he pursued you, maybe he was after the Lin Group all along. Just then, Zhixia's phone suddenly buzzed. Her secretary had sent her a video. When she opened it, the footage clearly showed Beizhou deliberately holding a lighter to the curtains. After the flames leapt up, instead of putting them out, he deliberately held his sleeve close to the fire. Then he dramatically cried for help. Meanwhile, Cheng Mo stood still the entire time, until she burst in and shoved him hard, causing him to strike the desk corner and collapse unconscious. The video ended. Zhixia's face went deathly pale. She raised her eyes to Beizhou. Beizhou had not caught on yet and kept fanning the flames. Zhixia, a man like Cheng Mo simply isn't worthy of you. A sharp slap cut him off. Beizhou clutched his cheek, his eyes wide with disbelief. Zhixia, why did you hit me? So, you staged that fire yourself. You dared frame Cheng Mo and made me drive him away with my own hands. Tears burst from Zhixia's eyes, her voice filled with rage and regret. Get out now. After seeing the video on her phone, Beizhou knew he could not keep pretending. Zhixia, don't regret this. Without me, the Lin Group will fall apart sooner or later. After Beizhou left, Zhixia instinctively opened a drawer and took out the work journal Cheng Mo had left behind. It contained years of client analysis and market strategies. The handwriting was neat, and every note was clearly organized. She flipped to the final page and found a passage. But rather, if one day you see this, just as you would protect, the company's greatest strength is not its products. Clients do not trust the Lin Group itself. They trust the reputation you and I built together, just as you would protect what we. The writing ended abruptly there. The final few words had bled into the ink, leaving them illegible. Zhixia could no longer hold back her tears. They rolled down her cheeks. She finally understood. Cheng Mo's departure was not merely the end of their relationship. It was the mark of his complete disappointment in her. The next day, Zhixia made a decision. She called a board meeting, announced that Beizhou was suspended from his position, and personally took over the marketing department. She visited longtime clients one by one, offering sincere apologies and promising to restore every term they had originally agreed upon. At the same time, she called in every favor she could. She was determined to spare no cost. To find Cheng Mo, waves crashed against the rocks along the shore, their rhythm echoing through the air. I sat on the balcony, watching the sea blend into the distant sky. This was my third month in this small coastal town. My days were so simple they bordered on monotonous. Watching the sunrise, writing, fishing, watching the sunset. After the divorce, I sold every asset I could, taking only a few changes of clothes and my laptop, to a place where no one knew me. The apartment I rented was small, but its floor-to-ceiling window faced the ocean. Every morning, the first ray of sunlight woke me. I had changed my phone number long ago and deleted all my social media accounts. I wanted no connection to my past, especially not to the woman who no longer had anything to do with me. One day, while I was frying fish on an electric cooker. The doorbell suddenly rang. I frowned. In this little town, no one knew me, much less come to visit. Through the peephole, I saw a beautiful woman in a light blue dress, standing outside my door. Her long hair was slightly tousled by the sea breeze. She looked familiar, but I could not recall where I had seen her. "Who are you looking for?" I asked through the security door. "Cheng Mo, it really is you." The moment she saw me, her voice brimmed with delight. "I'm Haiyan, your high school classmate. Do you remember me?" Haiyan. I remembered her at once. She had been the high school beauty queen, the student council president, the wealthy girl always surrounded by boys. How had she found me here? I hesitated, but opened the door anyway. "When I saw you walk past the cafe downstairs, I thought I was seeing things. I followed you all the way just to make sure it was really you." I took a step back. "What are you doing here?" "Traveling. I prefer lesser-known places." She smiled, her gaze sweeping over my modest apartment. "May I come in and sit for a while? There are some things I want to discuss with you." After a few seconds of hesitation, I stepped aside and let her in. Haiyan casually walked into the kitchen and glanced at the fish in the pan. "It smells delicious. You do not mind if I join you for dinner, do you?" She blinked at me. That familiar, confident smile made me feel as if I had returned to high school. We finished dinner in silence. Haiyan volunteered to clear the dishes. She moved with practiced ease, nothing like a pampered heiress. "Go ahead. Why did you come looking for me?" I got straight to the point. Haiyan set down the dishcloth and took a document from her bag. "I heard you left your job. I want to bring you on board. And do me a favor." I opened the document. It was a business plan. Haiyan had started a new company of her own. She was ambitious, but lacked marketing experience. "Cheng Mo, I knew how exceptional you were back in high school. What you achieved at the Ling Group afterward only proved it further." Hearing the two words, Ling Group, my fingers involuntarily tightened. Haiyan's voice suddenly softened. "Cheng Mo, ever since high school, I've had feelings for you. But back then, all you cared about was studying, like a complete bookworm. So I kept my feelings buried in my heart." I froze. I had never expected a confession like this. Haiyan's cheeks flushed slightly, but her gaze remained steady. "I know this is not the right time to say this, but I hope you will consider my offer, not just as a business partnership, but as a chance for us too." She stood up and placed a business card on the table. "This is my contact information. I'll come back in 3 days. Whatever your answer is, I'll respect it." After the door closed, I stood before the window, watching Haiyan disappear into the night. The salty sea breeze drifted into the room. I took a deep breath, feeling something quietly loosen inside me. 3 days later, when Haiyan knocked on my door again, my bags were already packed. "You've decided." She looked at the suitcase by my feet, her eyes shining with eager excitement. I nodded. "But let's be clear. This is strictly professional." Haiyan smiled. It was so bright. It seemed capable of clearing every shadow away. "Of course, Director Cheng." And so, I left the coastal town where I had hidden from reality, following my former high school beauty queen into an unknown new life. I did not know whether it was the right choice, but at least, I had decided to stop running away. At a business gala a year later, I stood before the floor-to-ceiling windows, holding a glass of champagne, as I admired the city at night. Haiyan's company had risen rapidly over the past year, and tonight's gala was our celebration for winning the business across Greater China. "Mr. Cheng, Ms. Hai is looking for you." My assistant murmured the reminder in my ear. I nodded, just about to turn around, when I caught sight of a familiar figure from the corner of my eye. Zhixia. She wore a long black gown, which made her skin look like snow, but she could not hide the exhaustion between her brows. She walked toward me, her eyes fixed tightly on mine. "Cheng Mo." Her voice trembled slightly. She clutched her handbag tightly, her knuckles white. I was startled at first, then gave a slight nod, my tone calm. "Ms. Lin, it's been a long time." Her eyes immediately reddened. She stepped forward, reaching for my hand, but I sidestepped her. "Cheng Mo, I'm sorry about what happened before. It was all my fault. Beizhou's sweet lies blinded me. I truly know I was wrong." Her tears spilled over, sliding down her cheeks. "For the past year, I've regretted it every day. Every day. I searched for you. At last, fate finally smiled on me and let me see you again. Please give me one more chance. Can we remarry?" Her tears used to break my heart completely. But now, my heart did not stir in the slightest. I said calmly, "Zhixia, we ended a long time ago." "No, we have not." She suddenly grew agitated, grabbing my sleeve. "You still love me, do you not? You are just still angry. I can wait until you forgive me." Just then, a clear, bright voice came from behind me. "Honey, why are you over here? Everyone is waiting for you to pop the champagne." I turned around. Haiyan was walking gracefully toward us. She wore a pale pink gown. With a sweet smile, she naturally slipped her arm through mine and affectionately leaned against my shoulder. Zhixia's face instantly went pale. She stared at us in disbelief. "Honey," Haiyan blinked, pretending to be surprised. "Oh my, you must be Ms. Lin from the Ling Group. I've heard so much about you. I'm Cheng Mo's wife." Haiyan. She held out her hand. Her smile smile flawless. Zhixia staggered back a step. The light in her eyes died completely. Her lips parted, but no words came out. In the end, she turned and fled, her retreating figure miserable and alone. You did that on purpose? I asked Haiyan quietly. She stuck out her tongue and released my arm. After the way she treated you, she had it coming. I was only getting a little payback. I shook my head helplessly, but I could not stop the corners of my mouth from lifting. Over the past year, with her sincerity and warmth, Haiyan had slowly melted the walls around my heart. We went from business partners to friends, then from friends to lovers. 3 months ago, we held a simple wedding by the sea and began a new life together. Come on, let's not keep everyone waiting too long. I took her hand. She nodded, her eyes shining with delight. All right, whatever you say. After the reception, we walked out of the hotel side by side. The night breeze was cool, and the stars glittered brightly. Haiyan suddenly stopped. She looked at me earnestly. Cheng Mo, do you think I'm too willful? I ruffled her hair and said with a smile, a little willful, yes, but I like it. She threw herself into my arms and held me tight. Thank you for choosing me. I held her back, my heart utterly at peace. The pain of the past had faded away, and the road ahead, we would walk it together. In the distance, the city's lights shimmered